Hello and welcome back to the channel, the place where I showcase both my flying adventures and the trials and tribulations as a microlight pilot. My name's Gary Taylor and welcome to the GT Aviator channel. No, your TV hasn't gone on the blink or your device failed. It's actually what's happening inside the EuroFox. As I flew over the threshold leaving Gigha, the screens just went blank. Everything went off. It was like instant. Within a few moments, things started to boot up. Instantly, the Horace came on, and at least I had some instruments then. The systems all seemed to be in the green as soon as they kicked in, and I carried on with the flight. I must admit it did frighten me to death. But anyway, let's see how we get on our way to Kirkbride.
Born at the back of the blackthorn hedge, with the white hoarfrost lying all around. No eastern kings came bearing gifts, instead the order came to shift. You better get born in someplace else. Move along, get along, move along, get along, go, move, shift.
Ah, there's someone there.
Yeah.
GT, did you get out?
Hey, firm.
Alright, I might come out to the right a bit and I'll probably join downwind then, yeah, just in case.
Yeah, good idea. We'll do that. I'm going to go out to their channel though.
Yeah, okay, me too. Kirkbride traffic, this is Golf Delta Bravo, Delta Mike, EuroFox, inbound to the west with 7 miles to run. And we'll be looking to join downwind from runway 10 with the right hand circuit. Kirkbride traffic.
Kirkbride traffic, this is Golf Echo Foxtrot Golf Tango, EuroFox inbound. We'll be joining downwind for a right-hand turn for 10, Golf Tango, turn right.
Kirkbride traffic, Golf Charlie India through Romeo, airborne from 10 and routing south. The aircraft left Kirkbride. We're a couple of microlights inbound with about 6 miles to run. Is there any other traffic around? Not aware of other traffic. Golf Zulu Romeo. Thanks, Golf Zulu Romeo. Golf Tango, I'm just going to do a right base for 10.
Roger. If I can see the airfield, I can see you, but I can't see you.
Right, I'll go in. I'm currently 1200 feet, 1029.
1900 feet, 1029. Looks a bit murky, doesn't it?
It does indeed, yeah.
Have you eyeballed the airfield yet?
Yeah, it's on my left. Quite big thing. Very big black tarmac runway.
I can't see it.
Can't you not?
No, I'm looking. I'll find it. So I've got to go over that little wash area.
Oh, okay, mate. Kirkbride traffic, Golf Center, Mike, turning right base, runway 10. Kirkbride traffic, Golf Center, Mike, turning finals, runway 10, Kirkbride.
Kirkbride Radio, Golf Tango, turning right base for runway 10, contact 1 on finals.
Kirkbride Radio, Golf Center, Mike, vacated runway 10.
Kirkbride Radio, Golf Tango, turning finals, runway 10. What was the landing like, Dave?
Yeah, it's alright, mate. Still a bit of a cross.
Okay. Kirkbride Radio, Golf Tango, backtracking runway 10. Kirkbride Radio, vacated runway at Alpha.
After parking up, I decided to investigate the issue about the instrument loss whilst in flight after takeoff. I didn't really find anything untoward apart from one of the connections at the back was a little bit loose, but I couldn't understand why I'd lost all sort of power to the auxiliaries. And the only thing I found was that the battery terminal was a little bit loose, but not silly. But anyway, I had no further issues. We booked into the White Heather. The White Heather is a hotel at Kirkbride run by Dave and his little dog. And what a charming place it is. The place used to be the officers' mess, so we were led to believe. But they've got about 4 bedrooms. 2 of them have got about 3 beds in, and the other 2 are 2 doubles. So me and Dave had a double each, and after sorting ourselves out, we went down for dinner. Dave provided us with a handsome meal, and the next day at breakfast, I mean, we had everything we wanted. It was really nice, and I don't think it cost more than about 120 quid or something like that for bed and breakfast and dinner. Anyway, the next day it was time to make our way home, and what we decided to do was fly down to Wellesbourne for lunch and then on to home. So the next part of the journey is down to Wellesbourne. Well, you join me in the cockpit as Dave and I fly over the Cumbrian mountains, and following the route, I think we crossed Keswick and down to Amble, then down Lake Windermere until we got along to the Manchester corridor. And I must admit the Manchester corridor was quite busy that day, and there was aircraft flying all around. And you know, you're only flying at the maximum you can fly now is about 1,500 feet, but it is a bit precarious at times. You know, you've got to have eyes in the back of your head as you go along that corridor. But anyway, the sights you see at the moment are the Cumbrian mountains, and they're glorious, absolutely glorious. So we'll just speed up the flight a bit, and you can take in a bit of the scenery. So the Manchester corridor, it's basically, you know, it's north to south or south to north orientation. But the thing is about it, it's restricted in certain areas. So you've got a vertical height of a maximum of 1,500 feet from the surface. The conditions of entry into it is that you can't travel no more than 140 knots. So me as a microlight pilot, my aircraft only does maximum probably 96 knots without causing it any damage, I think. You have a minimum visibility of about 5k, and then you have to use the Manchester or Liverpool frequencies or monitoring frequencies. On this particular occasion I used the Manchester frequency, which was a squawking 7366 on a frequency of 11.580. You can use the Liverpool one, but I used the Manchester one and all seemed fine. But as you see in the video, you know, it is it's a little bit windy. In fact, it was very windy, and you're travelling at a height, you know, I was about 1,300 feet, well, between I suppose 900 and 1,300 feet, and there's aircraft all over the place, and some of them are coming towards you. I don't know if they can see me. I can see them sort of on the pilot aware, and I'm also using the Mark 1 eyeball. But it is a precarious corridor. Even though it's quite wide, it is precarious because everybody, as I said, is at the same height. There might be slightly quicker aircraft than you, so they're coming up behind you. They might be travelling on the same track. Hopefully they're using their Mark 1 eyeball and their pilot awares or echo or whatever they're using. But I was squawking, so I was trying to be as visible as possible. But it's not an easy route when conditions are bad. I mean, I've been through that on previous occasions, and it has, you know, the weather has been such that I've had to divert into Manchester Barton. But that's another story. But anyway, let's just watch as we go through the corridor. After safely navigating the Manchester corridor Dave and I had a pleasant trip all the way down to Wellesbourne, Mountford, where we passed places like Turnhill, RAF Cosford and Halfpenny Green, which is Wolverhampton, and then scooting by some of my old stomping grounds, West Bromwich, Birmingham and such like, and then into Wellesbourne itself for our penultimate lunch. So you join me in the cockpit on an approach to runway 36 at Wellesbourne, Mountford. It was a little bit breezy across the runway from left to right, but not too bad compared to what Dave and I had suffered on previous occasions. Anyway, let's just see how I get on with this approach. Landing, I had this bit of a judder at the back of the plane, and it seems that the tail wheel gets out of balance and wobbles around like a motorcycle doing a tank slapper. And the way I got around it was just to force the tail to lift off a little bit and then just drop it back down. Well, after a hearty lunch and a good debrief on the week away, it was time for Dave and I to make our way back to our home bases. But before we left, we thought, let's get a memento or a final memento of our tour. So we bought ourselves a Wellesbourne mug that you can see on the cowling of Delta Mike. Anyway, let's just see how I get on a final leg of the journey back to Holmbeck. Well, what a trip. We set off on Monday. We all met at Fenland. Well, me and Dave met at Fenland, and we headed up to Carlisle. We were able to stay at Carlisle in the terminal, and then off we went over to, where was it, Glenforsa. Glenforsa, we camped for 2 nights, and during those days we went over to Barra, and I must admit I was frightened to death about crossing all that water. However, the aircraft performed, you know, really well. The engine didn't miss a beat, and you know, fair play to Rotax. You know, it's a damn good product and so reliable. I know we get issues with them, and you know, I've had engines out, but with this 912 IS, it just doesn't seem to miss a beat. But anyway, we went to Barra, and then from Barra we went to Gigha. Now if you go to Gigha, as you probably saw in the video, you land on Gigha, it's like landing on a ploughed field. I wish I'd have had the larger tyres on, but I took them off for the trip because the smaller tyres are sort of better for landing on tarmac. But at the end of the day, it was it survived. I survived, but the ground's really rough and really soft, and the grass hadn't been cut, and I suppose for an aircraft with spats it sort of gives it a fair bit of drag. Anyway, from there we went to Kirkbride, and Kirkbride we booked into the White Heather Hotel, and what a surprise that was. Dave, who runs it, he knocked us up a fantastic tea, and then allowed us to serve ourselves at the bar. But we were too knackered to go with these other fellas that turned up, all these ex-RAF guys, and they were off down to the local pub. But all in all, you know, that was a great trip. And then we from Kirkbride in the morning we refueled and flew down to Wellesbourne, had a bit of lunch, and then flew back here. And as you can see behind me, there she is, and she's had a good old clean, which is good, and ready to be dismantled and folded and put away and put in the into the hangar. But anyway, thanks for watching. It's been a great adventure this time. It's a pity the other fellas couldn't make it, but we did it. Anyway, I'll see you again on the GT Aviator channel. Don't forget, like and subscribe. Cheers, bye bye.